Hey, Sagittarius, Intuitive Soul Coach here with your April 2024 career reading. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you're new. These are general readings. Please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Sagittarius, welcome. Some of you went through a bit of a rough patch financially or within your career sector. You have the Skull card here, so there could have been an ending. Now, granted, this is in the past position. I still feel like you are working on reinventing yourself. Some of you, you could have retired. For others of you, you could have left a job or left the corporate world and went off on your own. I do see here training, education, knowledge, and coming to a point where you're able to feel more secure, more abundant. This is the month where you're finally going to see some sort of gains. An offer coming in for you. It's time to seize the moment is what I'm getting. Yeah, look at that. The Strength card had kind of flipped out. And I feel like you've had to be strong through this situation. It makes sense with your first card out being the Skull. This is about maybe borrowing money from a family member, from a bank, or you have been dipping into savings. Maybe some of you did go through that rough patch, maybe even in your personal life, and you were out of work. Some of you unemployed, or just felt like you were stuck in a position that you didn't want to be in. Some of you were dealing with the loss of a loved one with the Death card. Perhaps some of you are healers, Sagittarius. Yeah, look at that. That could be some sort of loss in the deep past. This could even be bankruptcy 10 years ago that you're still trying to recoup from. It could be COVID, or just a situation here that you felt like you were on the outside looking in. Like, how the heck do I bring back abundance into my life? How do I move forward after maybe hearing some devastating news or some disappointment here? Your cards are jumping. It's almost like they're leaping in the pile. That's how that Strength card showed up. So for some of you, you may be guided to take a leap of faith this month. Take a leap of faith, move in a new direction. Yeah, because you've completed a very important cycle. And maybe that cycle was karmic for some of you. For others of you, it was just a human experience that you had to go through to evolve. All right, Sagittarius. Beautiful energy here. Okay. Something's been causing a little bit of a headache, right? You've felt like you've had to maybe bear it all. Some of you, this is about vulnerability, maybe taking on too much. But what's really happening, excuse me, behind the scenes is a complete reinvention. This is about reinventing yourself from the inside out, reinventing your career. I'm getting here like a total money makeover. So a lot of you, you were stuck in the past in some sort of maybe scarcity or poverty conscious mindset with the Five of Pentacles. You may have even went through some money issues, like I said, bankruptcy, material changes. Some of you may have even been homeless or jobless, or, bad credit, something of that nature. But you're getting back on track here. I do feel that you have gifts, and some of you, you can talk to dead people, right? Some of you, you are mediums. You're able to connect to loved ones, loved pets that have crossed over. You may work in hospice. You may help people transcend either into the world or out of the world. Maybe you're a doula, maybe you work in hospice. I also see here that this is something you've been opening up to more, and it may have even happened after something big, a tower moment in your life occurred in the past. Okay. Now in the present month of April, Sag, you have the Watch. This says it's time to profit. The time is now. Like, you've gone through this period from the Fool's journey all the way up until the World, right? You've gone through this journey, and it's been full of highs and lows for you. But there is a new opportunity here for you to seize that moment. You've gone through a little bit of a waiting period. You were laid off. It was temporary, or maybe it lasted a lot longer than most things do, right? Or it lasted, excuse me, it's like it went past an expiration date, or you felt like it expired a long time ago. But this is about you taking what you have right here, right now, and turning it into something long-term. This is longevity. This is your outcome. It's about financial growth, things coming to fruition. It's that world energy of abundance, stability, family dynamics as well. Maybe you are going into retirement, or you're planning for long-term goals. You're planning to lay your roots down. Not only lay them down, you already have. Otherwise, the tree wouldn't have had the ability to grow so much. It's like new branches are showing up on something you've already planted the seeds on. So I do see here more growth coming in for you, and something you've been working really hard towards. You had to put kind of a lot of your blood, sweat, and tears into your stamina, your determination, your strength, your willpower. You even had to work through some of self-sabotaging behaviors. You had to get a hold of self-discipline here. You even went to the pits of your shadows is what I get here. But you are coming out stronger than ever before. All right, I really like that strength showing up here. Now, bottom of the deck here, subconsciously what's going on, you have the chest card, you have the pendulum, and you have the moon. So you're still going through some moments of uncertainty here. This could be about fleeting funds. Some of you had to take care of a health concern, a loved one, or yeah, you were laid off or set back in some way, shape, or form. And this is about maybe odds and end jobs, or a new income sources, more than one coming in here. And yeah, just fluctuating income, kind of going a little bit back and forth. Even if you feel stable in the income piece of it, maybe it's not the money, maybe it's within your emotions, within your health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. You're strategizing here with the chess card. You're thinking long term, like we mentioned. You're getting wise because you've gone through some very big struggles, and that's how we grow our wisdom, is through life experience, right? And this is about you. It's interesting because a lot of times spirit will kind of shift the words, and even though it says thinking it through, spirit changed it to make it through, like you'll make it through. So if you have been struggling thinking that you're not going to make it, or there's a deadline here, even with the watch, or am I going to find a job, or if I'm going to open up this business, or am I going to survive in retirement, whatever the fears are, right? Whatever the shadows are with the strength, you're going to make it, is what I'm hearing here, or seeing, I should say. Some of you may even had military in the background. You are a strong leader. Yeah, this is about being in the lead, or being able to be in a position here of power. And I don't mean power by greed, but power by feeling empowered, because that's the challenge for you. You have the Queen of Wands, who is confident. She exudes confidence and a magnetism here. But when she's not showing up in her brightest light, she can feel very low self-worth. She can feel very insecure. She can feel like she doesn't have what it takes to keep on going. And maybe that's why they said you're going to make it through, or showed me on the cards, you're going to make it through here. So let's dive in. We have an interview coming in. Some of you do have an interview. This could be a second or a third interview as well. They're showing me a follow-up. Do you have the follow-up card? Okay, you don't have the follow-up, but I do see that you will receive that follow-up. And I feel like there are brighter days ahead showing up here for you. Something has been a little bit of a headache. You want there to be light at the end of the tunnel, and I see that there will be here. But these two cards came out, so it's like what you focus on is going to grow. Do you have a healthy ego, or do you have a wounded ego? And that's kind of what your outcome's all about. And we'll take a look at that here in a moment. So I do see here you getting a call back. I see that there could be maybe a negotiation, internship. They want you to come on board. There could be training involved, certifications involved here, Sagittarius. Maybe it's bringing people on board to help you if you're carrying the brunt end of things, or a heavy workload. This is about maybe teaching. Some of you may teach, whether it's teaching people who are younger, or maybe you are the one with more experience in your line of work, but at the same time, it at times doesn't feel like you're honored for your gifts, your skills and talents. And there may have even been some immature actions. I'm just going to say that, some immaturity going on here. Multitasking. You could work from home. Okay, you may be a person who works in technology or you do something on the computer, here you're able to multitask, work remotely. I see here like building websites or building programs. I'm not quite sure the title of this, but I feel like you're someone, Sagittarius, here. You're building something possibly online. I mean, that could be anything. Maybe it's not labeled or a title, but if you're building something online, I do feel like it has the potential to be either family oriented, help families, or grow, branch off into many different lucrative things. I feel like you're watching out for your spending. You don't want to overspend, especially if you don't have the money to spend in itself. I also see something with high interest rates, or maybe you've had loans that you've been paying towards. You may be refinancing. I see that you're rebudgeting. You're looking at, the money that is going towards certain things that you want versus what you need in the moment. And lastly here, because you're doing that, you're going to end up saving. It says here, saving money. So yeah, you are, Sagittarius, going to save a little bit more. Some of you could even be paying something off, getting a job, getting a raise, getting higher pay, or maybe you have a side hustle that brings in a little bit more so you can contribute to your long-term goals. Let's dive into the tarot. You have the Strength card, which we talked about here. So you have had to be very determined. I'm getting here self-control, especially if you are an entrepreneur or you do work from home. That takes a special type of energy because you have to be self-motivating, self-starting. And you're a fire sign, Sagittarius. So you have what it takes to kind of get that fire started. But sometimes it can be the opposite. Sometimes you have a hard time, staying in that energy of self-control and determination. But I am getting with the Strength card, you've been through a lot and people do rely on your strength. And sometimes that can be exhausting. So maybe you're in a field where you have to be strong for others. And then at the end of the day, it's like you come home and you're vulnerable, or that's where you feel safe, is in your safe zone, right? It's almost like there's two sides here, that strength and then that weakness in a way. And weakness is not vulnerability, FYI. So many people think, well, if I'm vulnerable, that puts me up to weak, or that puts me in a weak spot. It may feel that way, but that weak spot is where we can ultimately grow the most. It's through those weaknesses that you grow. If you're at a strength, that's awesome, but you need to hone in on some of the areas where you don't feel as strong, right? So I also get here, Leo season could be significant for you. August, maybe there was a shift in August of 2023. I do see here a little bit of a sucker punch. Whenever the Queen of Wands shows up in reverse, it's like, a hit to the solar plexus, a hit to our power, our self-worth. Sometimes this Queen of Wands in reverse, this can be someone who's very egotistical, very insecure, very jealous, very catty. They may even come back with vengeance, right? Like she can be a very blunt. And the difference between the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords in reverse is that Queen of Swords, she can be very cold. Well, this person, she can be outright cold in front of everyone, right? Say things that, not that the Queen of Swords doesn't. The Queen of Swords can be more passive aggressive, but this one, she just doesn't care. She's going to put it all out there and hope that everybody sees in a negative way. So maybe this was someone you were dealing with, someone who was very catty, very egotistical, or on the opposite end here, or not opposite, but if this is you, I feel like it's your self-worth due to a situation that was very challenging. So it's about regaining a sense of confidence, regaining a sense of independence. And that energy, I feel, is going to match with the majority of you. All right. Below you, Five of Pentacles. Yeah, loss. This is loss of home, loss of job, feeling left out, getting passed over for that promotion or for that dream job. It could be instability within the home, not being able to make your mortgage, your rent payments, right? Struggling, scraping by. This is in the deep past though, or deep foundation. So I feel like that's still kind of what you are coming up from. Okay, you're still feeling the effects of whatever this was for you, some sort of loss that created instability. I mean, fives are conflict, they're obstacles. And it happened a long time ago, possibly for some of you, but you're still feeling the effects of that loss. because it's still showing up here. Ace of Swords in reverse, I feel like there was some sort of miscommunication and someone was sharp. For some of you, this Queen of Wands is someone else that's crossing your energy, and you're trying to do everything you can to be in your strength to deal with them. Okay, it could be a boss, a coworker, it could be even a family member, maybe if you're working with them, or a disgruntled employee or client. But the Ace of Swords can cut, right? Like I said with the Queen of Swords, she can be passive aggressive, but I feel like someone said something without even any contemplation of an action, how it would affect everyone else. So for example, maybe someone said something out loud in the office without thinking of how it would affect that person over there. Maybe it was very hurtful, very ego-centered, but maybe, Sally sitting over there took it personally as well because she had been struggling with something of the same nature. So it's like, it's a ripple effect. It's not just affecting you here. I feel like this person's cattiness or this person's energy or whatever, maybe it's not a person itself, right? It's just this energy, it ripples out. And that's what you're working on now, is your confidence, where you manifest from, a place of fear, a place of, love, and how to deal with maybe some negative setbacks or some disgruntled people, or some news that may have been challenging, some gossip. Page of Swords in reverse. But I see here also some of you wanting to research and learn more about something. Maybe it's this situation, or maybe you're moving on to educating yourself more about your craft, educating yourself by taking a class or learning about something that you're not quite familiar with. Maybe, oh, okay, I see what's happening. Some of you as well, you didn't know how to do something, and maybe you asked, or maybe you were too like you were scared to ask in a way with the Queen of Wands because you didn't want to get judged or criticized, especially if you were supposed to know how to do something. It's like you may not have done it right, to their standards or to their liking, and then you got kind of crushed with the pressure of it. Maybe you got demoted, maybe you got fired, but I feel like the lesson here was to ask, to not maybe assume. The lesson was to speak up. The lesson was to be vulnerable. To be vulnerable. And sometimes, yes, we think we know, or we try to fudge the pieces to make it feel like, yeah, we know what we're doing, even if we don't, right? I don't want to be vulnerable and let this person know that I really don't know what the hell I'm doing, because then that can come across as a weakness. But remember what I said, that's our greatest strength. That's where we learn and grow. Ask the questions. And maybe some of you did ask and someone got frustrated, but I feel that in the future here, there is a new beginning, but there's a tad bit of a delay. And maybe that's why you have the Watch card. Okay, but this is about divine timing, and there's been a little bit of a waiting period, but I get towards the end of April, something is going to take off here, because you are still completing a cycle. You're still showing up in the world energy here, Sagittarius. So there is a cycle that you are kind of completing. Maybe some of you, it's this year that you want to retire, or it's this year, because I kind of get like within the year as well. I mean, Ace of Wands is quick energy, but because there's a delay, I mean, this could be, it's like this year, that's when the change is happening for you. But it doesn't mean that you have to wait a whole year to get that job or to do whatever you want to do here. I just see divine timing at play. But the Ace of Wands is one of the best aces, right? So even if it's in delay, it's still showing up here, because this is about chasing your dreams. It's about feeling inspired, feeling creative, feeling like you have a new sense of purpose. And that's what this Skull card and this transformation is all about, bearing it all, literally. There's no skin on him, right? There's no eyes. This is about you getting to that soul energy, that soul self. And that's what the Fool is, right? After the World comes the Fool, and the Fool is the most spiritual energy, I feel, out of all the major arcanas. The Fool is the true inner self, the soul self, and you're being guided. When the time comes, you're going to know, and you're just going to do it, right? It wouldn't surprise me if your May reading, there's a Fool energy there, because you're still kind of wrapping up some cycles. There's a little bit of a prolonged delay here, but this is also about something hitting you at the third eye. This is about you opening up to divine inspiration. This is about you kind of knowing intuitively that it's time, that you finally completed a very important journey here on earth. Whew. Sag, this is big. I mean, the Strength card, the World card, and I can't wait for you to see your outcome energy if you haven't seen it already. But this is about a cycle ending. And yes, you've been stuck. Yes, there's been a setback and maybe even a little bit of a lack of closure. But this is you getting that closure that you need in order to move forward, and tell yourself that the world is your oyster, that you can have that celebration, that you can have that accomplishment, that happy ending. Some of you, this is travel. Okay, some of you may be traveling. Maybe you're moving for work. You could be working globally, working internationally. I just heard international bestseller. Okay, so either some of you are authors or some of you are reading a bestseller. Okay, or listening to a bestseller. This is victory. This is completion. So good job. I mean, you're going to go through those highs and lows, Sagittarius, but I feel like you deserve some sort of a win, and she's happy. She's smiling there. What's coming into your environment? Page of Cups. A new offer, something that's aligned with your heart. This is beautiful. Something that maybe you don't even see coming, or you don't expect, or you have a hard time believing, right? Because whenever this Page of Cups shows up, you can see that pig, that little piglet up there. The pig has wings. And there's that quote, I'll do that, right? When pigs fly. And what does that mean? It's never going to happen, right? So because pigs don't have wings, they don't fly. So there's an energy here of believing is seeing, right? Seeing isn't believing. Believing is seeing. Isn't that what they say in the Santa Claus? So there is this energy here of you believing it and then manifesting it in the external. It's not about seeing it and then I'll believe it. And that can be hard at times, especially when we get up in our head. But that's what this Ace of Wands is all about. That third eye activated. That third eye is, opening you up to new, higher possibilities, unlimited possibilities here. This is definitely reinventing oneself. It's creative. It's optimistic. Yeah, because some of you got into some sort of despair, some sort of pit, and you were very maybe pessimistic. And you're thinking, can I really do that? And that's where that Queen of Wands comes in. And when she shakes up that energy and she starts to raise her vibration, she's thinking, well, yeah, pigs fly every day. That's a miracle. And I expect miracles every day. And this Page of Wands is saying, go for it. Open up the heart. You can see the reverberating energy coming from the heart chakra there. And so you're opening your heart up after maybe it feeling a little bit blocked or closed off. Maybe this is about self-love for you, Sag. Believing in yourself, believing in your gifts, believing in your talents. Now, these two cards kind of came out together, and I asked Spirit which one was the outcome energy, and Spirit said the choice is yours. Because this next position is your hopes and fears, and then we have the outcome. But I'm going to talk to you both of them at the same time, because do you want your outcome to be the Five of Swords? Right? Do you want there to be stress and grief and resistance? Or do you want your outcome to be the Sun? Because both of these are your hopes and fears, right? You hope that you can have abundance. You hope that there will be brighter days ahead, right? The Sun energy here is healthy ego. It is, life is good. It's success. But the fear is wounded ego. The fear can even be overinflated ego with that Queen of Wands. Five of Swords, win at all cost. Win even if I have to step on the toes of others and hurt people. And I don't feel like that's your, your intention. But I feel like that's what you've gone through in the past. And because you've been hurt, because people have stepped on your toes, it's like the rug got pulled out from underneath you. And now you have a difficult time believing that more is possible. And not more in a way of greed, more. But it's opening up. And you see that Sun is hitting her right there on her crown chakra. And she is flowing. She's going with the flow. So I feel intuitively that this is your hope and fear. You don't want stress. You don't want drama. You don't want fighting. You don't want arguments. You don't want your mental health to deteriorate because of someone's high ego or someone's wounded ego, right? You just want to live a simple, happy, abundant life where you have enough money to pay the bills and to travel or do your hobbies or your projects and just to live life in a good way. I mean, who doesn't want that, right? And I feel your outcome is the sun. And it's important for you, Sagittarius, to not wait for something bad to happen because something bad has happened in the past. Don't let the past come in and hold you hostage. Don't let the past come in and bring you to a state of constant fear, false evidence appearing real. And maybe that's that belief. Maybe you believe that things aren't as good as they could be, right? And there's that scarcity, like they can't be good. Therefore, I'm not going to see it because I know that they can't be good. Believing is seeing. What do you believe at this time? That's the message here. The choice is yours. Powerful messages. But I will say though, I mean, I like to see that sun as your outcome because I think through this guidance, through you shifting this energy and this mindset, you're strong. If you can get through literally anything that life throws at you here, Sagittarius, you're a warrior. You're a fighter. You have what it takes. And the strength card here is telling me that there's nothing you cannot get through. So whoever or whatever this Queen of Wands is, or whatever's causing a headache, or whatever challenges or struggles that you've gone through in the past, they've made you who you are today. And you have a choice. And one of my favorite sayings is you can become bitter or you can become better. But that is completely up to you, no one else. You have to the sea, card 7. Now, some of you could be traveling. Maybe you are moving, you are embracing here some new emotions, right? Moving forward, letting those emotions kind of flow through you instead of resistance. This is being in the flow, returning to source, returning to yourself. Yeah. Recognizing how pieces fit together. And this is a natural pattern of events. Isn't it wonderful when you feel yourself in the flow of life? Right? And some of you are saying, Melissa, I haven't had that flow going on for a while. That's because there's lessons, right? And we're going to stay in some sort of energy until we know better. We're going to do better. Until we shift up our energy. If we keep doing the same thing, we're going to get the same results. So you can't necessarily heal in the same place where there was healing that was activated, right? We need to change the energy. We need to shift that in order to heal. And it says here, everything seems to work out when you stop scrambling and allow the sea of opportunities to wash over you and wake you up to your prosperous potential. To get into that flow, you need to address your beliefs about abundance and money. The true meaning of your personal currency lies in your skills, your talents, and your abilities. And most importantly, your core beliefs. I have goosebumps here. Yeah, we just talked about that. Everything flows from your inner world and is reflected in the outer one. When grateful to serve, you align your prosperity consciousness with a higher consciousness. Then you can expect miracles. I love it. Everything you need will come to you when you shift that frequency, right? When you open up that heart here and believe that miracles are an everyday occurrence, that, so many people think miracles are out of the blue. They only happen in, a car accident, or they only happen when something is super bad, right? But miracles are an everyday experience and we should embrace them as such. Living life here on earth is a miracle. So I want you to incorporate that word, Sagittarius, into your life more. Miracle. Say it to yourself right now. Close your eyes for just a moment, Sag, and say it in your head. Say it out loud. Say it out loud even. Miracle. Notice how your body might be getting tingly. You might be feeling emotional. You might be feeling that energy of divine love, divine connection. Say it one more time. Miracle. Because that's what I want you to start to embrace here. Because when external conditions, when they come in and they feel like they're blocking every attempt to move forward, because we see that external conditions may have blocked all the attempts to move forward. There's no hidden message for you to decipher. Like the ocean, the tides of experience ebb and flow. You are in a natural cycle. There's the world. This is part of the course. So know that things will flow again in due course. There is no cause for alarm. Stop resisting and fighting against the situation. There's that literally 5 of Swords now. Fighting against it, resistance, relax, and trust in the abundance that will soon be within your reach again. An ancient mariner saying applies to you now. When fishermen cannot go to sea, they stay home and repair their nets. I'm going to repeat that. When fishermen cannot go to sea, they stay home and repair their nets. Where are you at on that spectrum, right? Are you ready to go out to sea? You may be. Or are you needing to go within, take a look at some of the beliefs that you have, repair them, reprogram them, upgrade them, because then you'll be ready to go out to sea. Powerful messages here. Sag, I'm getting full on body goosebumps for you in this whole reading. I feel like you're changing internally in big ways. You're a stronger version of yourself. You remember the lion in The Wizard of Oz? He doesn't think that he has any courage, but he's actually had the courage all along. I kind of get that from you. Not that you're, a scaredy cat, but fears can be holding you back, stopping you from experiencing the best that life has to offer, right? Feeling scared of the apples, the witches, the monsters, the shadows, right? Feeling scared of your own shadow even at times and I'm just referring to The Wizard of Oz, not calling anybody out here. But I feel like you have the courage within you and you have the support as well to chase your dreams. All right, let's get a few messages here from your spirit animal guides. So Sag, at this time, if you can, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in from the solar plexus chakra, the belly area. And upon your exhale, tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first animal or animals that show up in your mind's eye. Now, this could be an animal that flies high in the sky. It could be an animal that swims deep in the sea. Perhaps your animals are wild, magical, mystical, or even domesticated. It could be an animal that's crossed over the rainbow bridge, one that's visited through your dreams, or maybe you've even seen in the great outdoors recently. There is no right or wrong answer, Sagittarius. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you're ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway, all you need to do is drop your power animals in the comment section below the video, and I personally will enter you into that giveaway. So please make sure you've hit that subscribe and bell button so you don't miss that notification. All right, Sagittarius, you may be born on the 9th. You may be 42 or 61. Your first card out here is Brown Bear. Brown Bear Spirit says, take a time out, right? For some of you, fix your net. Fix that belief system. Take a look at your frequency, your energy. Reinvent yourself from the inside out so you can have that sun, so you can have this financial growth if you don't already, so you can bring in abundance into your life of all shapes, sizes, and forms, all different energies. So take a little bit of time out here for yourself. We have Otter. Otter says you're never alone. And sometimes when we're caught in this 5 of Pentacles, that can be one of the most lonely feelings that we know here on Earth. It's complete isolation. Feels like you have been left out, right? Everyone else has their dreams, their accolades, and we feel like we have no one, right? And it feels like even the universe, God, source, guides, it feels like they don't hear you. Spirit wants you to know that you're never alone. Trust in Otter Spirit. And then lastly, we have Turkey. Turkey says, give with gratitude and grace, right? When you open yourself up to being of service or to observing the energies around you, what's going on externally, and taking a look at what's internally, I feel like a lot of you are going to bring a lot more gratitude into your world. Be thankful for everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. Some of you could benefit from starting a gratitude journal or a daily gratitude practice. One of my personal things that I do in my life is each night when I'm having dinner with my family, I ask them what was their peak of the day, their pit of the day. So highlight, low light, or a challenge, as well as 3 things that they are grateful for. So getting that, maybe the family involved, or even if you don't have family and it's just you, just doing these exercises can really help shift that mindset for you as well. All right, last but not least, let's get a message here from your soul's truth. What's going on here for you? Soul's truth. This one came out right away. Are you in your head or in your heart? What is the quality of your self-talk? Our brain is like a muscle, and if we condition it daily, the fears and limitations will take over. Mastering our thoughts is about being the creator of our own life. Where your head meets your heart is where miracles, say it with me, y'all, miracles, right? Where your head meets your heart is where miracles happen. Today's soul action, master your mind. Watch an inspiring video, do some tapping, read an empowering book, or write out all the reasons why you believe in yourself and your dreams. I love it. Beautiful confirmation of what we've just talked about. That is what I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope that resonates. I hope it was helpful. If so, please hit that thumbs up button. It certainly helps get the divine channeled messages out there to those that need it most. And it certainly helps the channel's growth and algorithm, which I'm greatly appreciative of all of you. Please do post your power animals in the comment section below, and feel free to hit that like, share, subscribe bell. And thank you so much for tuning in today, Sag. Lots of love.